would like to thank everybody who took out time from their busy schedule, and Saturday is busy for everybody at Jabalpur, we all know that. And to come here to Jabalpur Hospital and grace us with your presence, thank you so much. And I would just start with my topic for today is basically every challenge that we face, simple or complicated, we'll try to address them. And at the end, I will try to answer the questions if you have. So, from the straightforward cases to the surgical minefields, total laparoscopic hysterectomy from entry to end game. So, TLH is not difficult because of the uterus. It is never like that. There's big uterus or a small uterus or a adherent uterus. It becomes difficult because of the distorted plane, bleeding, adhesion, bladder. If we are doing a bladder dissection and we are in the wrong plane, and if the ureter is close in proximity. So the steps what we should do is we should first standardize the steps to reduce the chaos. Complex cases demand anticipation and not improvisation. So basically what I'm trying to say here is we don't have to create new steps with every difficult surgery. What we have learned for a TLH, we should stick to those steps. And if we face any difficulties, we should address them and then go step by step what we have learned. So the goal is a safe completion and not a heroic completion. We are not here to prove anything to anybody. If you are stuck, please call for help and just make a right decision at the moment and not delay the decision making. So when does a routine TLH stop being a routine TLH? So like Abhimanyu, we know how to enter, but sometimes we just don't know how to exit. So the complexity is usually predicted before this energy is activated. The complexity we know of are large uterus, prior seizure, endometriosis, flows in pelvis, broad ligament fibroid, poor access, and so on. So before the port placement, decide your battlefield beforehand. Confirm the indication and route selection, know the uterine size, mobility, prior surgery, adnexal status. I think history taking is important for every surgery. Anticipate the bladder and the ureteric risk, explain it to the relatives, explain it to the patient, take good consent. Your team briefing is extremely important, I think, before entering the surgery. When we know, when we are posting a case, we should do a team huddle and explain our teammates that ये instrument लगेगा, ये anticipated है, इतना bleeding होगा, harmonic लगेगा, morcellator लगेगा. We have to map it all. So map it means manipulation, approach, energy, instrument and timing. Anesthetist से बात करनी है, सर 3 घंटे लगेंगे, 4 घंटे लगेंगे. Everything has to be mapped. So if you have done your prior preparation, I think you will not be in a fix. So map it out. Please remember before entering the OT. So the first complication is always the first step. Choose the entry based on prior scars, uterine size and suspected adhesion. If you have taken wrong ports, you are already in a mess. If the ports are not right, like how Shinjani ma'am has always taught me, the ports centimeters se nahi lene hain, ports pathology se lene hain. So ports should match the uterine size, ergonomic suturing angle if you are doing the suturing, and the specimen retrieval plan. If there is a giant uterus, big uterus, then the ports have to be taken above the umbilicus, and you can go up till the xiphisternum, no problem. And in obesity, you have to, again, the lateral ports have to be decided prior to the case. And when the patient is in your OT only, then you have to decide your port placement, I think. So standardize the step, otherwise we'll be in a fix. What I was trying to say is, we should lead the surgery step by step, not crisis by crisis की bleeding हो रही है तो अब देखते हैं क्या करना है. So that should not be the plan. Create spaces before dividing the pedicles. Use traction and counter traction. Always take a secondary port, assistant port, take 4 ports, take 5 ports if needed. Always have that counter traction, because in laparoscopic surgeries, we are all alone. So you have to train an assistant who can help you in difficult cases. Bleeding is often a sign of poor plane. If there is bleeding in TLH, specifically TLH, you are in 100% in a wrong plane, there is no question. Even if there is, ये नहीं बोल सकते कि हमारा bipolar नहीं चल रहा है, you are in the wrong plane, that is why bleeding is happening. ऑफ कोर्स अगर कोई वेसल नहीं ब्लीड कर रही है एंड यू आर ट्राइंग टू डिसेक्ट अ ब्लैडर और यू आर डूइंग रेट्रोपेरिटोनियल, इट शुड नॉट ब्लीड बिकॉज वो है, ये वैस्कुलर प्लेन है. And you have to stay close to the uterus and go retroperitoneal early in endometriosis, lateral fibroids, scarred cervix, bleeding, distorted anatomy. Uterus is safer when seen, not assumed. It is a line I would like to tell everybody today, that ureter से डरना नहीं है, ureter को देखना है, ureter को identify करना है, ureter को सामने रखना है और फिर surgery करना है. I think you will not be scared. So the anatomy is what will save you in difficult TLHs. I want to just ask, it's a audience question, who can identify what the numbering is? Anybody, any number, choose one. Do you know what that anatomy is? It's a retro, of course, a side lateral pelvic wall, yes. Anybody wants to answer? Nobody? So I'm sure everybody might know some of the things. So these are the right anatomy. Do not cut if you do not recognize the anatomy. अगर अपन को उसका नाम नहीं पता है, उधर पे हमको एनर्जी नहीं चलानी है. Difficult TLH, what changes? Same operation, different strategy. जैसे मैंने पहले बोला, if you are in a pedicle like a uterine artery, IP ligament, skeletonize it, ureter को identify करके lateralize करना है. Short burst of bipolar is what another tip I will give everybody, कि we tend to continuously push the pedal of the bipolar and continue burn. That increases the risk of lateral spread is what I was trying to say. वो instrument गर्म हो जाता है, इसीलिए short burst में, छोटे छोटे burst में multiple बार हमको उसको burn करना है and then we'll cut it. If there is smoke, blood or any complex pathology, stop, re-expose, reassess and take if another port if you want to take, if you want to do, if you want to think of another plan, if you want to call somebody for help, do that first. Don't chase the bleeding blindly near the line. So we all know that ureteric injury are the major nightmares for us. So whenever there is bleeding, we tend to immediately catch hold of it and try to burn it. So don't do that. Catch hold of it and then identify and just figure out where the bleeding is coming from and make your space, take your time, only then burn. So if the bladder is adherent, there's a short tip for it. Sharp dissection of bladder is the better method rather than blunt dissections. In extremely adherent bladder, creating a lateral window is going to save us. Go laterally and then come to the center point where the most adhesion is always normally present. Use a colpotomy, use a uterine manipulator. It will push your uterus away from the ureter, so more ureteric injury can be saved. In difficult TLH, the sequence may be the same, but the threshold of retroperitoneal work must be lower is what my tip would be. So this is a video of pedicle creation, what I was earlier trying to say. This is the IP ligament. This is how we skeletonize the IP ligament. If we skeletonize the IP ligament, create a window, so we know that the ureter is not there, and then you can burn the IP pedicle, because once the IP pedicle starts to bleed and if it retracts, it's a major nightmare for every surgeon. And stay close to the ovary, as ma'am said. So in this, in my previous slide, I have already told you about the scarred bladder approach. This is the lateral window of the bladder. So when you see the yellow portion, you know you are safe. You can see a window over there. Start cutting from the lateral side. And if you see that you're in the right plane, it is not bleeding, then keep continuing. You can continue and then come to the center later. So once you are in the center, if you're confused that you don't know where the muscularis is, then go from the other end, create another window from the lateral side, and go from left side, and then go from the right side, whatever is convenient. And then finally, you can reach the center and you will find out that the bladder, where it is adherent from, and then how to separate. So yeah, I could think. What to do when anatomy is lost? Go back to your known landmark. अगर frozen pelvis है, क्या समझ में आ रहा है? Round ligament समझ में आ रहा है? Then we will start from round ligament. If you're confused, just try to find out IP. Ovary को ढूंढना है तो IP ligament को trace करना है, tubes को trace करना है. तो ये सारी चीज़ें अपन को trace करनी जो हमें पहले पता है. If central dissection is unsafe, change the route. Go lateral, go retroperitoneal, do early ureteric identification. Take uterine vessels in more controlled fashion. Do not stay married to the original sequence if the anatomy has changed. That is the moment for maturity. Ask for help, add a port, pause, or convert. That would be my last message for this slide. So the vessel control at origin, like if you see a large fibroid or large TLH you are facing, if you are anticipating bleeding in any case, so this is what we meant. Go retroperitoneal. You can clip the uterine artery at origin. That is the obliterated umbilical. Trace the obliterated umbilical, and then you will find the uterine artery at origin, and then you can just use a clip applicator, or you can just tie the artery, or you can cut the artery. So how to identify? So the peristalsis will tell you the ureter, and then the uterine artery will be pulsating. Then you can identify that this is the. You can wait and watch closely. Take your time, see the pulsatility of the vessel, and then clip it. Hemorrhage control in difficult TLH. There are steps which I want to tell you. These are some tips and tricks which ma'am has obviously told me. So do not panic, do not chase the blood blindly. Temporary control, pressure, suction, identify the source. So the temporary control is main. You have to put pressure on, wherever there is bleeding, just put pressure on it. Put a gauze inside, put pressure for some time, till the time that you arrange for some other thing. So the next step you can do is improve the exposure, traction, counter traction को reassess करना है, कैसे हम इसको और expose कर सकते हैं. Bowel अगर पास में, bladder पास में, then we can just rearrange our staff or our assistant ports, और अपने team को instruction देने का time मिल जाता है. Slow the flow, seal the pedicle proximally, consider uterine artery control like I had shown you in the previous slide. Go retroperitoneal if needed. Define hemostasis, definitive hemostasis, bipolar clip, जो भी अपने पास अवेलेबल है सारा ट्रॉली में अरेंज करवा लेना है. Reassess ureter, bladder and bowel hemodynamics before closing your case, and assess conversion threshold. क्या इतना bleeding है कि हमको open ही करना है? तो I think that should be reassessed. I turn back if I were you. Do not dissect a hematoma until you know why it formed. Blind coagulation converts bleeding into an injury. So if you cannot see the source, do not burn it, जैसा मैंने पहले भी आपको बताया. So this is a video I want to show you. So there's a bleeder, okay. So the first thing is the gauze is inside the abdomen. We have seen that there's a temporary control. The person is trying to coagulate it with a harmonic scalpel, whatever is in the hand. So here I would like to stop the video and tell you how the camera person has intelligently used the skills. So whenever there is blood drops on your camera, so the immediate instant is take out the camera, clean it, तब तक बहुत bleeding हो जाएगी अंदर, and you will lose the source. So the camera person should be trained कि जो दिख रहा है वो दिखाओ. Till the time of immediate ultimate blindness, जब तक आपके कैमरे में कुछ भी दिख रहा है, you should not remove the camera. So now there is no point. So now you can remove the camera, because whenever you remove the camera, there's already blood on the camera. वो blood trocar में भी चला जाता है, and then वो और आपको परेशान करेगा. So now the gauze is inside. Now we again clean the camera, and then we are trying to find the source and not burning it blindly. uncontrolled bleeding, anatomy not confidently identified, expanding thermal uncertainty, suspected urinary tract injury, fatigue, poor progress, and poor visualization are the red flags. What are the options? Pause, reorient, change the strategy, add additional port, retroperitoneal approach, ask for help, and convert early if you want to. The best surgeons know when to persist, when to pause, and when to change the course. If it is not a clear yes, it is a clear no. That is, I think, the take home message for all of us today. So these are plan early, a good planning is half surgery done. Entry, please choose your entry beforehand. The position, port position is always about your comfort, and it is not a bookish term. Nobody is going to tell you how many centimeters of port distance you should take. It is about your comfort, the patient's abdomen, and the pathology. Protect the uterus, dissect, use sharper dissection, not blunt dissections. Identify the bleeders early. Strategize a retroperitoneal approach. Exposure is a safety tool. Verify ureteric peristalsis after every difficult case. That is also my tip for you. If you are trying to do difficult cases, methylene blue से bladder को भी check कर सकते हैं, bowel को gas test कर सकते हैं. All these measures we all know. So if you are suspecting any injury, please assess and standardize your OT steps. So as I told you, there was an important piece of advice by my mentors, Dr. Shinjini Pandey and Dr. Vivek Salonke. They have always told me during the surgeries that please do not operate when you are hungry, when you are angry, when you are lonely and we are tired. So thank you, Shinjini ma'am, for teaching me everything I know of today. And I'm very grateful that you came, and thank you for everything.